Welcome to the Never Motion Toolkit training. This is a powerful set of tools designed to help you identify and heal the hidden emotions in your psyche, the ones that are causing stress, the ones that are causing blocks in your performance, in your life, and in your path. So before we go on, I want to frame out that whilst the slides and the steps that are outlined in these slides are going to make these concepts seem quite simple, I do want to frame out not to underestimate the power of the energies and the forces that we are actually dealing with. Okay, these are very intangible forces, and it's very, very uncommon for there to be instructions and steps around how to navigate these spaces such as the psyche, the shadow, and emotions. And so this is very new. I really haven't seen anyone really do this, like how to step your way through the psyche. However, this is part of my genius. This is part of my gifts, and I'm trusting in the, you know, in what I have worked with over the years, and you know, the ways in which I've helped, you know, navigate clients through this process, and really wanting to, you know, put it in, you know, a step format, you know, for people to understand it for themselves. So, you know, I'm really excited to be sharing this, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to you guys using these processes. And I will just say this: use these concepts and these steps to get an idea, to really be grasping the idea of how we do this work, and then do your best to detach from them. Okay? And I believe if you do it that way, then you get the best of both worlds. You get the best of the process and getting a bird's eye view and an overview of, like, okay, this is how we can navigate the psyche, the shadow, and our emotions. And then you get to also detach and be present with your body, with your intuition, and what is present. So it's the best of both. In this training, I'm just going to give you an overview. Then there are going to be 2 separate videos really going deep into the mechanics of each tool. And there are 2 here. So let's jump in. Like any tool or anything that you would operate, there are instructions, and it's no different here. So the instructions here are to do with the attitude you want to bring and the approach, like how you do the techniques. So your approach to the techniques that you're about to see. So it's about reading and understanding these before you dive in. So it's important to know what you put in, you'll get out, right? Quite straightforward. This is a process, not a magic pill, not an overnight success kind of thing, not a genie in the bottle. It is a process, okay? And it's important for you to honor your process. If things, if you get answers and wisdom quickly, that's great. Some days, but some days you won't, and it's about honoring that process. Just knowing that you're planting seeds every time you come into your body and you do this process and you explore within yourself. And be patient. Be patient for things to settle. Be patient for things to grow. Don't plant a seed, and as my friend Dave would say, don't plant the seed and then a day later start yelling, "Where's my fucking oranges?" Don't do that. Next one, don't presume to think you know what is going on in the psyche. And even like putting these concepts in slides is kind of erring on the borderline of we think we know how to do this, right? Which is why you don't often see it. The truth is that we don't really know what's going on in the psyche, but if we've conjured up, unresourceful patterns, I'm sure we can train ourselves in having really resourceful patterns, like exploring our emotions. So it's just important. Don't think you know what is going on. The moment you think you know is when you're kind of off track. Now the approach, the techniques. The deeper you take your breath, the movement and the sound that your body wants to make, like the deeper you take that throughout the practices, the clearer your acknowledgement is. What you're telling your body is, I hear you, I'm receiving your wisdom, give me more. And the deeper that your breath is, the deeper your movement and your sound, the more clearer your body can hear you, and it will give you more. if your breath, your movement and sound isn't that deep, it's quite, you're not playing full out, then your body won't hear you acknowledging that you're receiving what it's giving you. So people often want more, want the wisdom, want the goodies that the body can provide through its wisdom, but they don't want to, make the awkward breath sounds, or don't want to breathe too deep, or move like that out of fear that someone might see them or hear them, or it might feel uncomfortable. Your challenge and your invitation through this training and through using these processes is to stretch yourself to go beyond those limitations. The next one is always go with the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. Honor the nuances. Again, a little bit like honoring the first thing that comes to your mind. Things can sometimes things can seem irrelevant. They are very much relevant. Never underestimate the power of a nuance, something that you think is completely irrelevant. And the last one is have fun, y'all. Like, as I said, get an understanding of how to navigate your emotional world, and then detach from the steps, detach from the process, and have fun. The first tool is the saw. This is the tool that we use to cut through the behavior and the patterns in the behavior and get to the bottom of the blocks and problems. You'll often hear me referring to things as like surface and deep, right? It cuts through the surface and we get to the depth of the problem. So there's 2 questions here to explore the conscious, and there's 3 questions here to explore the subconscious. And next up is the very next video that you'll see in the training is the video all around these 5 questions and this particular tool that I'm referring to as the saw. And this helps us find the part within our being that is holding on to the discomfort of change. And that's what this tool does. It gets to the bottom of that, finds that part. And then there's another tool, which is the hammer, right? And this is where we the second tool is about nailing the feels. You often hear, anyone who teaches embodiment, you would have heard this from me plenty of times, just to feel into the feeling, we feel to heal, feel the feels, and sometimes when you're starting out, it can kind of feel like, what the heck does that mean? I definitely felt that way. And so what I've designed this tool in mind is with the fact that sometimes that, like, just feel the feeling, it's kind of like how. So this is, to me, this is the how, okay? And these are the steps. So again, grasp the idea and then detach from the steps and just have a go. So the third and final video you'll see of this particular series is around nailing the feels. So jump in, have fun.